leopards and, you know, what's going on. I actually wanted to maybe just do a quick thing with the map while we're sitting here. And just show you guys, because we talk about all these leopards and I've been rattling off names and maybe it's a little bit difficult to understand exactly where everybody is. So this is not the entire traverse. I mean, this is literally just Buffelshoek, Torchwood and Djuma. Simbili off to the side, Arethusa here. This down here is Arethusa, and then it goes into what's called Arethusa Private. This is Hofmann's, Little Gowrie, Wessels down below, Annette's down below, and Coral Cheetah Plains. So that's kind of the layout. But currently, just from a map point of view as to where these animals are moving, we'll start in the sort of far northeastern corner. This section, kind of from here, coming down, Jacana, Harlequin, Baobab, down like this. That's Kara as a female. So I'll do the females first. Kara coming there. Then what you've got is Shadulu. She comes from the gate here. So there's a slight overlap with Kara in that area. She comes down sometimes towards Quarantine, but mostly she comes down the sort of western side through this block here. She has a big game path that she walks straight through the block down, and then she comes up onto Zoe's that way, and then down into Hofmann's, and then her territory is this kind of Arethusa, Simbili area as well. Then we've got Sibui at the bottom, so she's like this around the bottom down to Chitwa Dam into Hofmann's. Langa would be slightly below her here. Then above that is Tlalamba, which is the massive territory that comes all the way along like this, through Torchwood, down Chitwa, Little Gowrie. So she's got that big section there. Above her, over here, is where Nsele is. So Nsele is this area and hangs around along these dams and that section. Then there's a very skittish leopard that's being seen in this section. I don't know how much she comes into Buffelshoek, but she gets seen around here. And then another leopard that was seen recently around this side that also seems quite shy and quite skittish, but right on the boundary and ran into Manyeleti. Then on this side you've got Monzo, Nkanyeni and Watika, and they all pretty much overlap along this section and come all the way down into Nkoro. So they have quite a long sort of north-south territory, but very short east-west by the looks of things. And then you've got Tandi, which is this section over here, and Kuchava, which is this section that comes down Cheetah Plains and Nets, and then here. So that's kind of the layout of the females across this section of the traverse. And then the males, that Jigga Jigga male, whatever, he comes down into this section, Big Dam, and then up and out, so he's around there. In Klangula is anywhere from Jordan's Dam, or Poacher's Road actually is where he comes in. Poacher's Road, he comes around Nyala Dam, Sussens, and then bends up and he comes out like this. Sometimes he'll go a little bit further. That Timbavati male has been pretty much this section, so in Singa, Nyala Dam, Sussens, moving around there. Tavangumi is this, over here, into Manyeleti a little bit. Then you've got Tortoise Pan, who cuts down through this section, over here. Mulawati is then the rest of this, all the way through. Yeah, he's got a big territory around like that. And then theoretically it should be Quarantine around this sort of eastern side here. Where that Wabayiza was seen is over there. And then we obviously know that Marips is around Torchwood, Chitwa. Shasha has been all over the place. I mean, he's been seen in the stint since I've been here. He's been seen at Chitwa. He's been seen in Arethusa. He's been seen on Djuma. And he's been seen up in Buffelshoek. So he's going, and Torchwood. So he's going all over the place at the moment. Tsemba, as far as we can see, is mostly Chitwa and southwards, down into Little Gowrie, Chitwa, Annette's Wessels, Mala. And that's pretty much it for the leopard. So that gives you an idea of how they're distributed at the moment. I don't think I've forgotten anyone. I think I've got everybody there. So yeah, that's the kind of layout of leopards currently and where they sort of sit. So you can see the whole area is pretty well covered except for this section in the middle of Torchwood. And that's because if you look here, there's no water here. There's one water hole over here and one water hole over there, and the rest is all dry. And so this middle section between Second Rock and sort of Green Pan area is very devoid of leopard activity at the moment, and that's because of no water that's there, which means not a lot of prey animals. Good. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you understood that. We'll keep sitting with Shadulu.